Hey everybody, and welcome to our EV Tariff webinar for all of our drivers out there with Octopus electric vehicles. That was a bit weird. We haven't done one of these for a wee while, so please bear with us if we're having any technical difficulties, any speaking difficulties, and we haven't used the software for a little while as well. We know that we've maybe not been quite as available on these webinars as we have in the past, but we want to change that moving forward, and we want to try and make as much informative content to as many people as possible moving forward. For that, today I am joined by Bryony, who will say hello briefly, and then we're going to play a quick video that Bryony and I made, probably a year and a half ago now, maybe even longer ago, and Bryony's got a different role since then, but I thought we'd open with that because I think it gives a really high level sort of understanding of what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully that will get the juices flowing on any questions if we cover anything in that video where you're like, oh, I wonder about this, I wonder about that. We've then got some questions that I've compiled from all of you wonderful people on our email that you filled out in the type form that we popped into some AI earlier today to get some well-rounded questions. And then we're going to open it up to the chat panel as well. So I can already see there's some amazing questions coming in. Please try and keep that not for personal questions. What I mean by that is, obviously, some of you will have some personal issues around some charging with certain times or certain cars. We can absolutely try and handle those, but a lot of that may revolve around Octopus account numbers and car number plates and maybe personal details about payment and stuff as well. So we don't want to try and get into that on these calls, but we'll try and give you a really high level understanding, and then hopefully we can fit in anything underneath with that. But before we get sorted, I just want to double check that the audio is all okay. There's like a 30-second delay on this chat as well. So if you pop a chat thing in and we don't notice it, please bear with us. It takes us 30 seconds to see it. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll play that video. It's a little bit about tariffs from Bryony's old job, and then we will run into the questions. So I'll get that sorted. Lots of our customers ask us questions all the time about if I'm on the right energy tariff, how do I get onto the right energy tariff, and so on and so forth. Bryony is with us today in the Octopus Energy head office here in London to just chat through some of those things. Bryony, do you want to explain what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an energy helper here at Octopus Energy. So you can normally spot me out in supermarkets, shopping centres, that kind of thing. And I'm normally out and about talking to existing customers and new customers about the benefits of switching to Octopus Energy and what we're doing to help improve the green energy market.
Just to get us kicked off and get us into some of those questions, first question I would like to ask is, how does Octopus Energy and their tariffs work? Why do we do what we do?
Yeah, so Octopus Energy has an abundance of smart tariffs available to help customers tap into green energy on the grid, customers that maybe want to make that switch to greener energy, and it also helps them to benefit from cheaper prices, so it's a win-win all round.
Amazing. How do we bring more green energy to more customers?
With smart tariffs, simply. So as long as you've got a smart meter, you can tap into the smart tariffs. There's quite a few available for you, so there's something to suit everyone. Yeah, and then it just helps us to shift some more green energy into customers' homes and away from obviously fossil fuels on the grid.
What should I do if I've got an EV?
Definitely look at one of our two EV tariffs, so either Intelligent Octopus Go or Octopus Go. Totally depends on your setup at home, but if you've got a home wall charger and a compatible charger with Intelligent Octopus Go for that.
Why do we offer different EV tariffs?
Intelligent Octopus Go is compatible with all of the EV chargers that we offer on our website, and it just allows you to tap into more hours at a cheaper price overnight and during the day when there's an abundance of green energy on the grid. But Octopus Go is compatible with every EV and plug-in hybrid, so yeah, something for everyone.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And we now start to offer exclusive tariffs for our Octopus electric vehicle customers as well. What's the best way to charge my EV? So I'm coming home at the end of the night.
Yeah.
We get lots of questions around like setting schedules or that kind of thing. On Intelligent Octopus Go, I just rock up and plug in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you let us do the thinking for you, basically. You just get home, plug in your vehicle, and we'll just start charging when it's the cheapest parts of the day for you.
Amazing. And then lots of people, or I think maybe some of the most vocal people, because they maybe have, it's a little bit more complicated, have questions around, well, I'm thinking about getting an electric car, I'm thinking about getting a heat pump, I'm thinking about getting solar. It seems super complicated. Do I need a tariff for each of those, or do I go into one tariff? And which tariff should that be?
So if you've got an EV and then you go down the route of a solar array and a heat pump, Intelligent Octopus Go will still be the best one for you to go for, just because you do get to tap into all of that lovely cheap energy overnight. But obviously if you go down the route of a solar array, then you can look to still export your energy to us for money, and we'll pay you for it.
Amazing. What's really important here is that we get you moving over to Intelligent Octopus Go as soon as you can. That's where you'll make the most amount of savings versus fuel. It's also where you'll tap into the greenest and cheapest of energy. And because you're leasing a car from Octopus EV, you get a slight discount on that energy as well, which is really cool. But we really look forward to seeing you on that tariff. If you've got any questions, get in touch, and we can't wait to see how you get on with your car. Perfect. So, Bryony, some stuff has changed since then. Do you want to update people?
Yeah, just a little bit. So obviously time has flown in the last 18 months or so since we recorded that. I have moved internally to Octopus Electric Vehicles, which is where I am today, albeit in a slightly different room to you, Charlie, but not too far away. But yeah, I'm one of the EV experts here. So I talk with our customers day in, day out, look to find perfect solutions for them on our scheme, and yeah, help them to benefit from greener tariffs and also sort of just greener way of driving.
Perfect. I thought we should, before we get into how the tariffs work, I thought we should explain a little bit around renewable energy and pricing, because I hope that will, as we go on and talk about the tariffs and about, I can already see some questions coming in about 6-hour windows and when is energy cheap and when is energy green, a little bit around that, and then go from there. Does that sound okay?
Sounds like a plan to me.
I'm going to open this up, and this video is just going to look for those. So this is a graph of renewable energy and the cost of energy through the day. So that's not actually renewable energy, that is just all energy across the day. And most energy companies will buy that on a half-hourly window. So there's always a half-hour window when energy changes price. And that's a cost per kilowatt hour. Now, when you buy energy for your house, what normally happens is that cost is aggregated. So there's a single cost to you that's like 35, 36, 38 pence per kilowatt, and that is one price across the day. And in certain periods, that energy company is making a loss on that cost, on the cost of selling you that energy. And in the peak periods, in peak periods, that energy company is making a loss. And in the other periods of the day, that energy company makes a profit. Now, if you can imagine, I'm going to pause this video. Solar is a really easy one to explain because solar happens at the same time every single day, right? But if you imagine plotting a graph for solar on that graph, you see it will sort of peak when energy isn't really being used, right? That big peak we can see at the end is right now, and the next 3 or 4 hours as everybody goes home, turns on their shower, has their bath, eats some food. Whereas solar is probably peaking around 12 p.m., right? Middle of the day. Now, that means that the supply of energy outstrips the demand. And that seems to happen overnight as well. So because all of us are using less energy as a total, more green energy is being utilized in that period. So as an sort of average, energy is greener overnight, and energy tends to be greener in periods when we're not using a lot. That also means that energy is cheaper, right? When we look at wind, we can sort of sometimes forecast that. So we can forecast wind, we can see when wind turbines are spinning, and then we can start to use software to automatically start charging cars or start turning on heat pumps. And that's the big difference between Octopus Go and Intelligent Octopus Go. Octopus Go looks at this graph and goes, this is the average, right? Energy would be cheap in these periods. It would probably be greener in these periods. So we're going to offer you cheaper, greener electricity. As a whole, Intelligent Octopus Go can actually figure out when that energy is going to be cheaper and greener and automatically fill your car. But I thought I'd show you this graph. Hopefully that helps explain how we do it. And then I was going to come back to Bryony, who's going to then talk through the differences between Octopus Go, Intelligent Octopus Go, Intelligent Octopus Go, EV Saver, and then a couple of other tariffs that you might have heard bouncing about in the electric vehicle world. Bryony, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So as Charlie mentioned, we do have a few different tariffs that are great for anyone driving an electric vehicle, but there are 3 that we're particularly going to focus on. So I'll start with Octopus Go. So Octopus Go is compatible with every EV and EV charger. It's targeted more at customers who have a car or car charger that maybe isn't compatible with Intelligent Octopus Go, or it might be that you live in a property where you can't have a charger installed. So maybe your landlord won't approve it or something like that. So you use a 3-pin charger instead. So Octopus Go is available for 5 hours every evening, guaranteed. So it starts at 30 minutes after midnight, so about 12:30 a.m., and continues on until 5:30. Now that's at 8.5 pence per kilowatt hour. Works out roughly around 3 pence per mile. So the average electric vehicle has a battery of around 50 kilowatts in size. That would work out to be about £5.25 if you did a full charge on that tariff. Then moving on to Intelligent Octopus Go. So obviously the intelligent element here is that we are able to communicate with that charger. So this is for drivers who have a car or a charger that is compatible with Intelligent. So all of the chargers that are currently available through the salary sacrifice scheme that we offer here at OEV are compatible with this tariff. So you actually get 6 hours on this tariff from 11:30 p.m. until 5:30 a.m. That's at 7 pence per kilowatt, so a little bit lower in price. And by comparison, a 50 kilowatt hour battery would cost only £3.50 for a charge there. So you're saving about £1.75 per charge there. But then the last one to mention, certainly not the least, is the EV Saver tariff. So this is a exclusive discount for Octopus electric vehicles customers who are also on supply with Octopus Energy. So this just enhances the savings of Intelligent Octopus Go by slashing the price to 6 pence per kilowatt hour. So you see an even further saving there. A 50 kilowatt hour battery, for example, would be £3. And the average person drives about 10,000 miles a year. So this actually works out to be about £16 a month. Obviously, if you're interested in it and you've got any questions, reach out to your dedicated custom operations specialist if you're already in a lease with us. But if you're not yet, obviously, when someone like me reaches out from our EV experts team, please feel welcome to mention it because we'll be able to tell you a little bit more about it. But then just a couple more to lead on to. We do have the drive pack. I'm just going to touch on that very briefly because you might have heard a little bit about it. This offers unlimited smart EV charging for just £30 per month. At the moment, it is currently oversubscribed, so I would definitely recommend looking at Intelligent Octopus Go as an alternative. And then the next one, which I will hand back to Charlie, is PowerPack. Charlie, did you want to talk a little bit more about it?
Yes, I think PowerPack and vehicle to grid will just become more and more of a hot topic as we go on. And we are pioneers in that space in terms of the software that drives that. And a lot of manufacturers choose us to help bring a vehicle to grid product to market. Nissan did in the past, BYD have done in the UK, and Ford have done in Germany. You do not need to know what vehicle to grid is if your car is not able to do it yet. But essentially, vehicle to grid allows your car to provide power to your home when that energy is at that peak window. So you would be charging your car when energy is cheap, and your car would be giving that energy back to your home so that you're not consuming energy from the grid in that period of peak window. That technology is all brand new still, and still working out some kinks with other parts of the world. You'll notice the lights have gone off in this room, which is great. But what that then means is that unless you are with a car that can do it, you have a charger that can do it, and you're on the right energy tariff, we can't move you. So it doesn't, if you've got the right car and you've got the right charger, but you're not in a bundle product with us, it's really hard for us to make that change for you in the right way that works with the car. So if you've already got your car we hope that maybe the next time you lease, we'll be able to get you a more open system for vehicle to grid. But right now, vehicle to grid is contained to these like trial products to make sure that we can get the data, essentially because the DNO, which stands for District Network Operator, needs to approve and then build a map of where electricity is traveling to. All of those people do different things. It's really complicated for you to go and make that change with the DNO. So we tend to partner with a DNO to make that happen. So if you do see it and you've already got a car, don't worry about it. Even if you go, oh, I've got a Dolphin and I've got a charger, it's probably not for you right now. It might be in 3 or 4 years' time. Cool. I can see the questions are coming through thick and fast. What I thought we should do is touch on the questions that we got from our emails. We'll run through those. So it's like 5 of them. Hopefully it should cover off a lot of what's in the chat panel. And then if not, I'll have a quick look through those while we're doing that and then go from there. Bryony, I think the first question was probably for you, right? Which is, I have a heat pump and an EV. I'm currently on the cozy tariff. Would I be better off on an EV tariff? And maybe at this point as well, you could explain what would be better about an EV tariff, even if I don't have those things. So I think there's questions coming in about should I be on an Eco 7 tariff or should I be on an EV tariff? And they're much the same to some extent, but slightly different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we touched on earlier, with our EV tariffs, you obviously have that period overnight where it's much lower. So it might be that you have a solar array and a battery, or in this case, you've got a heat pump as well as an EV. So getting that 5 to 6 hours of low cost energy overnight will give you the opportunity to heat up your water on your heat pump. It will give you the opportunity to charge up your battery if maybe it's been a bit of a bleak day and you haven't generated as much of your own solar energy. And again, that's available every single evening. It's automatic as well. And there are obviously significant savings to make there. It just all ties in really nicely as well, ready for you to get up and start your day with a full battery. Your water's heated up, ready for your morning shower. You can just get up and go.
Mega. And also those keen-eyed viewers will notice that I managed to get up and turn the light back on. Hopefully it doesn't go off again. Cool. So the second question, I think both me and you are going to answer this together, which is, why is there a 6-hour car charging limit? And what happens if I don't trigger my car to get charged outside of that, but it's charging? Cool. Right. So there's a couple of bits to that, right, Bryony? Do you want to kick off with Octopus Go? And then I'll jump on to Intelligent Octopus Go.
Yeah, of course. So with Octopus Go, obviously it's a 5-hour charging limit overnight. The reason that it isn't intelligent is because it might be that the API of the car or the charger does not allow us to communicate with it. But we can still offer you that 5-hour window in that period. Obviously, in that case, you would be manually triggering that charging through your app if you do have an EV charger that maybe isn't compatible, or through your EV itself. So you can obviously take advantage of that. But then, Charlie, I will definitely hand back to you on the intelligent side of things.
Perfect. So what we're saying there is that the car will have a setting for you to set timing for charging, and probably your charger will have an ability to set charging schedules as well. And then if you've got Intelligent Octopus Go and you're on the Octopus Energy app, you'll find there's another setting in there which will be like, what time is your departure and how charged do you want your car to be? For Octopus Go, you want to set one of those, and preferably I would say the car. That will stop the car charging at any time other than that off-peak period, unless it's at a DC charger. So if it's at an Electroverse rapid charger and you're driving to Cornwall or to Cologne or to Cortina, I was trying to find something that had a C and was in the news, then it will still charge at those things. It's also easy to go in and set that on the car and on the car app. Please don't do that with Intelligent Octopus Go, because as Bryony was saying, the API, which is just a clever piece of software which we link, Octopus Energy links into the car with or into the charger, If you then set a schedule, we'll trigger a charge, then the car will try and trigger a charge, and they'll cancel each other out. And you can imagine if 3 of those are doing it, it then gets really complicated. So what we'd really ask you to do is on Octopus Go, this is where it gets complicated, on Octopus Go, set the charge. You don't have to go out and plug in at night at 12:30. You just set it on the car or on your charger or on your charging app, not on both. And for Intelligent Octopus Go, you set the amount you want in the morning, what time you want to leave, and it will do the rest. The one thing that may get a little bit complicated is preconditioning. So I do that from my BMW app in the morning, 20 minutes before I go out to my car, rather than letting the car do that for itself, because some cars trigger charging with preconditioning as well. So just be aware of that. But for most cars, that'll be absolutely fine. If you don't have a car that's compatible with Intelligent Octopus Go, or a charger that is compatible with Intelligent Octopus Go is the best thing for you. You only need to have a car or a charger. You do not need to have both being compatible to be on Intelligent Octopus Go. So in the past, we have had some chargers that have lost the capacity to sync with Intelligent Octopus Go, but as long as the car still can, then you're absolutely fine. If the car can't, we'll just move you to to Octopus Go rather than Intelligent Octopus Go. These names get really complicated, right? It would be cool if we could just have short, snappy ones for each of them. And then EV Saver is just something that we, as OEV, so Octopus EV, move you to. So once you're all set up on Intelligent Octopus Go, we will then move you to EV Saver. So if you haven't heard of it, it's exclusively for people that are leasing their car through us. My email is right at the top of the chat panel if you want to click on there, but also you can reply or pop it in the newsletter of the Constantine's Corner and go on from there. Cool. So next question. My Omi app and my Audi, please. These are different ones. Keep coming unsynced, which results in me not being able to charge during the off-peak period. Now, I think that comes back to what I've just said. There's also a thing here where if we see there's excess green energy on the grid, we might automatically start charging your electric car on Intelligent Octopus Go. And also those charge windows sit outside of, like, we check them every half hour. So what you might find sometimes, especially, we found this specifically with Hyundai in the past, what would happen is Hyundai drivers would come home, plug in, the car would start charging, and customers would panic that they were charging on the peak period, but it was purely that it hadn't synced with Intelligent Octopus Go yet, and the car was not had any charging schedule on it. So just as if you are noticing that it's happening lots and it's impacting your bill, then absolutely reach out to us. But sometimes for up to half an hour, your car might initially start charging. We should balance that all out and realize that, because we will then see in that half-hourly note that the car was charging and credit for that and not worry about it. All right. Hopefully that answers some of those questions on that too. I think there's another question coming up around multiple cars and multiple devices. Bryony, do you want to lead us into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the Intelligent Octopus tariff doesn't seem to allow me to connect to more than one EV. Why is that? What are your suggested solutions? So with Intelligent Octopus Go, so the API, again, that clever bit of software that Charlie was referring to earlier, it won't let us go in and trigger 2 cars on the same connection. However, you can schedule your car to charge during this period to take advantage of the tariff. So if the second vehicle in your household, for example, hasn't been linked to Intelligent, you can set a charging schedule, or you can trigger the charging automatically from your phone to take advantage of it during that period. But I would imagine with it being 11:30 p.m. until 5:30 a.m., you're going to want to trigger that with a charging schedule. Certainly not manually, unless you're a night owl and you want to.
And then I think the final question is around charging if you don't have a charger at home, or how we deal with some stuff around like terraced houses, things like that. I would implore you to go check out CurboCharge if you haven't already. They're also working with Connected Curb in other places. You can sign up to see whether or not they're coming to your area soon or working with your local council. They'll basically drill out a line in your street, allow you to lay a cable, and then put over the top put a rubberized cover over the top as well, so it's completely safe, and the liability is with the council and not with you, as long as you've done everything correctly, which is great. But I think this is a great opportunity to talk a little bit about Electroverse, because also what a lot of people don't realize is that if you're on one of these intelligent EV tariffs, you also get discount on Electroverse. So we do have 2 other webinars, which you can go and find on our YouTube, that link back to first up, how Electroverse works, how to plan a long road trip, and then when I worked with Jack, who was basically the Bryony but an Electroverse, to field some questions from them as well. But the big thing is you get discount on the energy that you charge, and then also you can start to see where there are chargers around your house. And in the short term, that would be my go-to for that. My home in Scotland doesn't have a charger, so I have to charge locally. I have slow chargers that are called fast, but 7 kilowatts at the local sports centre. And then I also have some rapid chargers at Morrison's and at the local Esso garage. I'll do a mixture of those depending on how I'm feeling, whether I'm leaving the car or whether I need the car straight away. But Electroverse allows me to do that, and I still see some of that discounting. Also, we've started to add those off-peak periods to Electroverse as well. So the Electroverse app will show you whether or not those chargers are going to drop in cost at certain points. So perhaps after 7 o'clock, when nobody's using them at the sports centre, you can then go in and get a big discount, like sometimes 20, 30% for using that charger when that charging company has bought energy, but that charger's not getting used. And hopefully that should help you with that as well. We also have, as Bryony was saying, with the EV experts, they can also help you understand a little bit more about that. They can jump on a Google Meet, show you where your local charger is. If you are in the process of getting your electric car or your charger and you're worried a little bit about that, we can absolutely help with that as well. Cool. Right. I am going to open up the chat panel. Oh, we also got a whole load of questions around like tax and changes that the government have made in the budget. I hadn't lined up an expert for that, and I don't want to throw Bryony under the bus in like a proper apprentice fashion, right? So what I am thinking of doing is lining up an expert in our account management team over the next like 6 weeks, and getting them ready to be able to explain some of that stuff to you, of what's going on, how to check pay slips if you are on salary sacrifice, how to make sure how the lease cars are going to work with some of the pence per mile stuff, also how your EV grant has worked if you've got a car recently and taken advantage of the government grant as well for an EV, which will be with account management rather than with Bryony, because Bryony doesn't work in the space of understanding tax codes or understanding what's going on your pay slip. So I don't want to throw her there, but absolutely ping those questions in when you see the invitation to that webinar, and we'll absolutely get that sorted for you. Cool. I'm going to open up the chat panel and have a look here. There's a load of questions coming in, which are great. Just to answer John straight away, because I think it's a great question. Where can I find full rates for different tariffs? That would be on Octopus Energy's website, right?
Absolutely. And there will be options there for you to pop in your postcode for it to give you bespoke day rates, so peak rates, and your standing charges as well. But your off-peak rate will be as described in this webinar today.
Perfect. And also on there, you can go and see whether or not your home setup is compatible with Intelligent Octopus Go, right? You can go to Intelligent Octopus Go, click your car, click your charger, and it will tell you whether you're ready to go.
Yeah.
We've got another question here from Oliver who asks, can you change from an Ohmi charger to an Octopus EV one? Not right now. We won't swap those out for you. You can pay for it. You can just order an Octopus Energy charger. But right now, the Ohmi charger on Intelligent Octopus Go has all the same compatibility right now in the short term. And I imagine that will be the case for a little bit longer as well. So not to worry too much just yet. A couple of other questions. Shanna, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please don't at me in the comments. I work from home full time. Is it worth me moving to a cheaper EV tariff, even though I'm using electricity throughout the day? And then also DB Rose is asking when the changes to Intelligent Octopus Go are happening, but we'll come on and chat about that. So first up, Bryony, do you want to explain why, even if you are using energy during the day, why an EV tariff will still hopefully benefit you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the average EV, I believe, uses around 1,200 kilowatts of energy a year. Obviously, that will depend on your usage as well. So you would make significant savings on that portion of your charging there. But at the moment, the off-peak charging rate isn't just exclusive to your charger. You can obviously use that as well for your home energy. So if you're anything like me and you're running a dishwasher overnight, or you've popped on a load of laundry ready to get out of the washing machine in the morning, you're going to benefit from the savings on that. So just taking advantage of that off-peak rate to shift as much usage as you can. You're not going to be able to shift all of it, because obviously if you're working from home during the day, you are going to be using energy. But if you're able to shift as much energy as possible to that off-peak rate, you will see savings in your home as well as in your home charging for your EV.
Perfect. Sorry, I saw the question come in about the Electroverse app, and I'm trying to find it for Raj before we do anything else.
No worries.
We've got a question here about, you have a car from Octopus EV, but it's not compatible with Intelligent Octopus Go. Can you drop us a message? Because actually drop me a wee email, because we would not need to double check. All of our chargers normally are absolutely fine with, all of the chargers we offer on the salary sacrifice side are with work with Intelligent Octopus Go. So please ping us a message and we can work that out for you. Or if you've not got a charger yet, we can help work that out. And then Bryony, you might have been out of the role for a wee bit. I'm struggling with DB Rose asking, not struggling with the question, with them asking, but like what the question means when they say, when are the changes happening to Intelligent Octopus Go? I think that's more around the idea of like this 5-hour window and charging outside of that and other things like that, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So I think previously it was the case that if there was lower priced energy during the day, we would automatically start charging during that period. I think what I have seen recently is that is going to stop. But obviously, I would love to double check that info and see if there is a date at which that's announced that's going to be starting. I can't remember off the top of my head with that one, unfortunately.
Perfect. There's another question here, which I think is great. There's a couple of them. One around, do some people have more than one car on salary sacrifice? Some companies allow more than one. Some companies only allow one. There's some, not tax implications, but there's implications on your salary and some other stuff if there's more than one. But sometimes we also find that a lot of people that are early in moving to our energy tariffs maybe already bought an electric car, or somebody else has an electric car on a PCP or on a hire purchase. And that's maybe why there's confusion there, Glenn, around more than one car. We're not meaning so much on the salary sacrifice side. We're meaning more than one on the charging, like on the forecourt at your home, right? For Raj, I just looked it up. I'm in the Electroverse app right now. Hopefully you guys can see that. I might need to turn off my where do I do that? That's great, because I am, hopefully you can see that now. Yeah, there we go. We're getting in focus. And there's a charger just up here, which is at our local Lidl, which is where lots of us go for lunch and charge at the same time. And if I tap on it, it will come up and show me that. And then you'll see there across the top in the purple, it's showing you 15% off until April, or the end of April. So what that is that's just the source have maybe bought too much energy, and they're realizing that they've got more energy than demand. So they're letting me take a discount on that if I go and I set the charge through my phone or through my card on my Electroverse. Cool. John is asking, if somebody comes along and plugs into my charger and my gate there's not a gate on my driveway, can people start stealing electricity? Your charger app should allow you to turn off the electricity while you're not there. So you should be, and that's different to setting a schedule. So you can just click a button. You should be able to click a button that unlocks and then go from there. Cool. Brilliant. Pillsbury says, I hear that on Intelligent I can charge my car in, hold on a second. But also you can do things like washing machine and other stuff between 11:30 and 5:30. Yes, that actually might be absolutely correct. So what happens is that your car auto starts charging when energy is nice and cheap. However, when your washing machine won't know that. We're not able to turn your washing machine on and off for you. And I don't know how scary or if people would be comfortable with us being able to be like, we're going to route into your washing machine and turn it on when energy's cheap. Some people might be able to do that, but also so as well. There's the light that's gone again, which is fantastic. A couple of other questions on that as well, Conrad. So the charger does not identify the car at all. Not at the public chargers can, and some chargers can. But the best way to do that in the short term is to lock the charger through the app to begin with. And then that's a great question. Can I filter the Electroverse app for the chargers that currently have discounts? If you can't, I'm going to talk to Electroverse about whether or not you can.
I was just about to say, I'm just having a little look on my Electroverse app, and there's just a small, you might be able to see a little pink symbol here. So if you tap on that, it will let you know about any plunge pricing that's due to happen, any subscriptions that you might have open, but also it'll let you know about discounts there and which brands they are. So you can actually filter by the provider.
Yes, yeah, that's what you have to do, is see what it is and then go back in and filter by provider, right? Rather than actually, but that would be really cool, right? And the filter at the top, if you could just click, just show me the ones that get discount. I will take that to Taishi, I think, and mention that to Matt Davis and Taishi as well. Cool. I think we've covered off an awful lot of stuff there. I completely understand that this has been a wee bit of time. It's been like 40 minutes now. So I want to wrap up and let Bryony go back to helping people that want to buy at least some electric cars. But please, as I said, my email, which I'm going to pop in here, maybe you guys can see that or not, is in here. I will not answer them tonight because I imagine lots and lots and lots of you will see that as well, or lots of you may email in, but if you can email me any questions you've got, that's absolutely fine. I'll collate them tomorrow and then go through. If you've got any ideas for what you want to see us doing in the future as well, we'll do that. And what I'm going to do is I'll say, Bryony, we can say goodbye. I'll roll a VT and then we'll disappear and end. And then 30 seconds later, it will end on YouTube. Thank you so much. Any questions, get in touch. And also, you can also ask questions in the newsletter, which some of you signed up to in this as well, in Constantine's Corner. Click on that, and we'll get you all sorted. Bryony, do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Have a lovely evening.